Yeah, he's an accredited investor, Ryan Naris, enhancing America's affordable living.
And Ryan's going to be joining us right now. Welcome, Ryan.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Sorry, my video. Hey everybody, can you hear me? Well,
yes,
hopefully
can.
everybody can. Yeah, awesome. Hey everybody, my name is Ryan Naris. First and foremost, thank you for that very warm intro. I would like to think I am like just a boring normal dude, but I've done some really cool things, and I'm really, really excited first and foremost to share them with you. I have achieved both time and financial freedom in 5 short years, really less than that. And what I want to do to give back is help others get that freedom. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Just real quick about who I am and what I've done. So, about 5 years ago, I had nothing. I had no network. I had no experience. I had no money. In fact, I had negative money. I'm a millennial that has been faced with the onslaught of student loan debt. I drank this Kool-Aid of, well, if I just go to school and go to a good school and work hard, I'll get a good job. And then, boom, I'll one day get to retire on a beach somewhere. And well, it turns out that was kind of a lie. So I basically got stuck in the corporate trap, and I just fought my hardest to escape it. And flash forward now 5 years later, I've bought 14 mobile home parks, asset value of about $30 million. And I have made myself into an accredited investor based on net worth. So I don't like sharing my net worth, but if you care enough, you can go and Google what that means. And it's a good amount considering the fact that I pretty much had a negative net worth just about 5 years ago. So today we're going to talk about how you can get there too. And the basis of my entire speech today is going to be what I call, or what the industry calls, OPM, or other people's money. So now I do real estate. So I'm going to give very academic examples based on how you can use OPM in real estate. But the truth is, you can use this in any business that you're starting. And I'm going to actually make the case today that you should in any business that you're starting. And the biggest reason why is because it will multiply your capital, which we're going to get into in a little bit. But not only am I going to sell you on why you should really consider other people's money and not look at it like you're giving up something, but rather that you're gaining something, but also I'm going to talk about how to secure it. Because as you could assume, not everybody's dollar is the same. And we're going to get into all of that. So we'll start here. Imagine this. Imagine you're like me and you wanted to get into commercial real estate and you have $200,000. Well, if you can make an outstanding 20% return on that, that's $40,000 per year, which is great. That's the average household income in the United States of America. That's wonderful. But for most people listening in, that's probably not enough. Or at least, why set your sights there when you tune into a summit like this when you want to get wealthy, right? So how do we kind of change the way we look at this? Well, if you are buying a business, or in my case, a commercial real estate, and you've invested all of your dollars and you're only getting 20% returns, and you need all of that money to eat, literally to live on, you aren't growing anymore. Now, let me give you an interesting juxtaposition. Let's say you took that $200,000 and instead of putting all $200,000 into just one deal, even though it's going to pay you an outstanding 20% return, let's say you can find 8 identically performing deals, but you can find someone else to put up the other $175,000 for each deal. In this way, let's say you get every dollar that you put in is matched, just for simplicity's sake. So your $25,000 in that deal counts for $50,000, and their 175 counts as just 150. Well, what happens there when you do that math? Literally everything doubles. Your 200,000 now counts as 400,000. Your $40,000 a year is now $80,000 a year. But here's the coolest part about all of this. You now have 8 deals. Rather than just one, you have 8. In real estate, we call that a portfolio. And oh my goodness, a portfolio is worth way more than just a one-off property if done right. So in other words, your $400,000 now, your 200,000 that you multiplied to 400,000 that is cash flowing twice what it was before is actually now worth even more than 400. And that's what's called capital multiplication. You are literally stretching your dollar. So that is why OPM is so powerful. And I encourage you to go do the math on your own because it's just absolutely intoxicating what you can do and where you can get to with a whole lot of nothing in a very short period of time, like I was able to do. So now let's get into, well, how do you get it? You can't just, me 5 years ago, if you were to ask me how many millionaires could you call or text right now and get a warm response from within 24 hours? I could confidently tell you the answer to that was a big fat zero. Now my best friends are all millionaires. In fact, most of them are multimillionaires. So I've completely revamped not only my network, but also my friend circle. So how do you do that? I want to give you a quote that's one of my absolute favorite quotes of all time, which is this: trust is gained in drops and lost in buckets. I am so adamant about being transparent and building relationships based on truth for that reason. You need to build trust. I have a database of I think I'm over 900 potential investors now. And I can count on basically one hand the number of people that I've actually invested with. Why? Because not all investors are created the same. But not only that, it took years to develop those relationships with those really, really close few. So, yeah, friends and family are a wonderful place to start. But believe it or not, none of my, call them 5 investors, were actually family members. They were all friends and acquaintances that I met by doing a huge shotgun approach outreach. So that's what I did. I basically just put myself out there. I told everybody what I was doing, which is mobile home parks, even though I hadn't bought any yet. I announced to the world, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm extremely passionate about. This is what I want to be when I grow up. And the longer I got into it, the better I got with it, the more of a following that I've developed. So I have my own podcast. It's called Mobile Home Parks in Real Life. Every episode that I shoot out, I automatically get over 500 unique individual downloads, and it grows from there. So that with time is like an audio resume of who I am, what I know, and what I can do. And that builds trust, even though in scale too. So if you utilize things like social media and platforms like podcasts, you can get your name out there and you can build trust even beyond just a friends and family type relationship. So if you can prove to the market and prove to people that you have or haven't met yet that this is what you're doing, you should believe in you, you will slowly build trust with time, and it does not come quick. And trust me, you don't want to take people's money quick. You want to vet them just like they're vetting you. So put yourself out there, tell everyone what you're doing, and start with your friends and family. And what you'll find, like I have that giant list of 900 plus people. Those 5 that I invest with are almost exclusively people that I had known for years prior to starting in mobile home parks. And only, I think, 2 of them are folks that I actually didn't meet until I was doing mobile home parks. So your friends and your family are just an absolute wonderful place to start, period. And then I have to say, put yourself out there even before you're ready, because as long as you have that base of knowledge, as long as you're getting people out there, they'll start to talk and they'll start to send other people to you, and it snowballs from there. So another big, really important thing that I absolutely feel compelled to talk about today is that not all OPM is created equal. So like I mentioned before, I have literally a handful of people that I invest with across hundreds. Like, why is that? Well, here's a list of things that you really need to consider when you're taking outside money. How needy are they? How nitpicky are they? How involved do they want to be? How risk averse are they? How much money do they even have? What expertise or other advantages do they bring to the table? And finally, my personal favorite, do they pass the beer test? In other words, are you going to enjoy hanging out with them? I know that's a long, kind of silly list when you're feeling pressure to have capital ASAP, but even if you do everything else right, from your bookkeeping to your operations to your sales to your marketing, if you do everything right, if you pick the wrong investor, they can absolutely ruin what you're doing for many, many, many reasons. Seriously, go to business school. When I got my MBA, it was absolutely littered with examples of partnering with the wrong person. But let's address about each of those as we can go. First off, how needy are they? Now, look, you're taking someone's wealth, someone's hard-earned money, so you need to be respectful of the fact that, yeah, you're going to need to psychologically massage the situation to make them feel comfortable. But at the same time, if they're calling you multiple times a day because they're nervous, that's a problem. They need to have trust in you like you have trust in them that you can get the job done. And some people, they just are antsy for whatever reason. And trust me, you don't want people barking up your door every single day to have to spend time and energy worrying about, are they going to be upset because I bought a little bit of extra printer paper, which by the way has happened before, which leads into my next thing, nitpickiness. Thankfully, example of buying too much computer paper hasn't happened to me personally, but I do know people where stuff like that has happened to, and I do know investors on my list who I know are those type of people. Well, why does one of your employees need a toaster? Why do they need a microwave oven? And it's like, do you really want to explain to them like, hey, I want to make sure my employees are happy and they don't have to leave. They can cook their lunch right there. Do you want to be having those conversations or do you want to be growing your business? It is important that you trust but verify with your investors. You show them all your P&Ls. You give them reports that they can go through and be comfortable and make sure they have a check on you just like you have a check on them. But what you don't need is someone getting into your business that doesn't have the expertise that you have, because it's going to slow you down. So that's really, really important. And getting back into that antsy thing that I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of people that are just risk averse. It's just the nature of the beast. Most people aren't meant to be entrepreneurs and being an entrepreneur is a risk seeking venture. So you need to pair up with someone who does have a little bit of understanding in the regard that, hey, look, the money could effectively go to zero. And if you're like me and you take on recourse debt, it can go below zero. You need to be open and transparent with these folks and screen them out up front if that just doesn't suit their needs. And trust me, every now and again, yes, you do need to make sure that you are there to quell the fears and concerns and confidently speak to who you are and what you're doing and where you're going with the business. But at the same time, there is a level where, this is just impeding upon my ability to grow. So that's, again, another bullet point that you have to have there. How much money do they have? This is a really important question because someone could be amazing and check every single box, but have like 10,000 bucks. And that's just not enough money to start most businesses. Most businesses are pretty capital intensive. In mobile home parks, for example, the cheapest thing I ever bought, I think required over 100 grand down. Like $10,000 isn't even 10% of that. That's a big deal. So yeah, someone may not check all the boxes, so to speak, or be questionable in certain areas. But here's the thing, if they have a lot of money and you're really comfortable with them and they're comfortable with you, you might be done. That might be it for a long time. And that's important because it's much easier to manage one investor than 15 or even two for that matter. So in other words, it's really important to also vet how much money folks have. And like I mentioned before, I'm an accredited investor. When you're dealing with the SEC, depending on what you classify yourself as when you set up your LLC or however you decide to go forward raising money, you may not be able to partner with non-accredited investors. So to a certain degree, you need to screen that out up front depending on what you opt for. So another big thing is, what expertise or other advantages do they bring to the table? So I mentioned that those plus or minus 5 people I do business with, every single one of them has real estate expertise, which is what I do. And I literally spent hours on the phone with a handful of them this week picking their brains about things. Yeah, of course, I might be the expert on site, but I trust and value their opinion, and they've introduced me to some awesome people who have helped me get to that next level. And they've also helped me look at my business differently. Now, at the same time, they all say, hey, I don't want to stand in your way because ultimately you're the expert here and you're the one driving this train. And I have confidence in you to do that. But at the same time, I want to push them to challenge me, because what I don't want is to be laser focused on something and not see something obvious right in front of me. So it is important to bring someone on who has maybe debt relationships or other investors they can connect you with. So, in other words, an investor can also be a partner. And that's absolutely one thing that you should look for, not just someone who can write you a check and that be that. And then finally, my favorite, the beer test. Let me tell you something. Things are going to go wrong, and sometimes in some epic ways. And at the end of the day, you want to be able to go and have a beer with someone. Literally this week, I'm going to go spend some time with one of my best investors, and we're going to go and have a couple drinks, go to a nice restaurant, and maybe do something fun. Why? Because it's relationship building. Again, you build trust in droplets and you lose that in buckets. And the best way to build trust is literally just face to face, BS and having a good time, building that friendship and that relationship. And if someone is just stale or just doesn't have good chemistry with you, it's going to be really hard to build that trust if you don't have that relationship. And also, there are so many hard times that you go through, even when things are going well, that having meaning and purpose behind what you do and having people you enjoy doing it with will get you through those hard times. So don't laugh at the beer test. It's really, really, really important. And my denouement here will be lawyer up. Absolutely lawyer up. You want to have good operating agreements. You want to make sure you're abiding by SEC law. You want to make sure you're not even marketing without speaking to a lawyer first. It is so important to not get stuck in doing something illegal for a billion different reasons. But the easiest way I can put it is, when you get into a car, you put your seatbelt on, not because you expect to go and get in an accident, but because there's idiot drivers out there and unexpected things that are completely out of your control, that although annoying, a seatbelt is annoying to wear and prohibitive, boy, you're so happy it's there when you need it. So, guys, my name is Ryan Naris. I can't thank you enough. Feel free to reach out to me. I am extremely easy to find. My last name is spelled Narus. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's the best way to find me. My website is archimedesgrp.com. I am not selling anything. Believe it or not, I'm actually not raising money. I literally just enjoy helping people. So please feel free to reach out to me, even if you just want to say hello. I can help you, and I don't need anything in return. Guys, thanks for tuning in. That's my speech.
Thank you, Ryan. That was great information. It piqued my interest because I sell real estate. So thank you for being here, and everyone, head on over to the last session and we'll see you there.
You know your business better than anyone. That is why Idea Financial gives you the option to choose from our unique business line of credit or term loan. 2 different products. You decide which one works best for your business. Visit ideafinancial.com to start your risk-free application.
Oh, they can hear us.
I think we're on. Okay. So this is Funding Stack Summit getting ready to wrap up. And what a great 2-day event. Unbelievable. We've seen conferences and getting big groups and meetings kind of going away because of COVID, and to be able to leverage all the technology and bring these summits to people is really incredible.
Yeah, and Danielle and G and their team put on such an amazing event.
We're so happy.
I know. They pulled us in, so we're thrilled. Thank you so much. We had a great time and we learned so much. So back to you, Danielle.
Oh,
y'all, I love working with you. You two crack me up, and you're so warm and so funny, so welcoming. Like, what's not to love about you two? So thank you so much for hosting the second half, and being my co-host today. It was amazing.
You did a great job from the first minutes of the conference till the end. You were phenomenal.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'll take it. All the hard work's paying off, so I'm excited. I just wanted to take a minute to obviously thank you. Wanted to just take a quick minute. I want to thank our core partners because really without whom we couldn't have this happen. So I want to thank OmniSync. I want to thank Idea Financial, CSC Leasing. I also want to thank our supporting partners. A lot of our speakers and their businesses are our supporting partners today. So really what this points to is we're a community, y'all. We're really helping each other. That's what I imagine Funding Stack to be. And I know my co-creator, G, probably feels the same way, but I want to hear it from him. G, come on. Screen.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, G.
Thank you, Mary and Heather, Danielle. Wow, what a wonderful 2 day of hosting. You guys crushed it. And I am it's an exhilarating moment for me, for all of us. I think it's been a great 2 days and so much learning, so much information. And I can only imagine what the road has ahead for us. And we are planning to host many more events together with Momstown and and Funding Stack Summit. We're planning to do a Funding Stack Summit roadshow, Funding Stack Funding Fair. That we've planned so many things ahead, and we continue to do and evolve in this space. So I'm very excited, not only to have as a team we have continued to evolve in this pandemic, where our business models are changing. We have changed how we operate, and we want to share that. And of course, there's a whole gang of people, the team that's supporting us, Rick Victorias from ImagineX Production, our head of our our lead production guy, and he's been amazing, and he came together.
Rick is a gold nugget.
I know he's a golden nugget.
Great job.
Yes, he is. He's amazing. And I want to thank Mario Ezzi. Mario has been such a gem. He's a rare find. Without him, our live broadcast would be hanging on the balance. He's been the man handling it, and such a teamwork between Mario and Rick. And I want to thank both of them for holding the flag. Almost I would call it. So much was thrown at us, and I want to thank Peter Joe, our lead tech, and he's been helping with coordination. I want to thank James Nguyen, our head of marketing, who's been helping promote this event. He's an amazing person. Also, running Discord. He's also another great gem that's come to help us. And I want to thank everybody else on the team that kind of jumped in and to kind of learn really quickly. So it was just such a team effort, and I want to thank all of you. And I think the future is bright for us, and there's only possibilities and opportunities from here on. So I want to thank our audience, who also took the risk and took the effort to come in and join in, and and provide their time for us and had a chance to experience this. So I want to thank our audience who took 2 days of their time to come in and join with us and help us, give us great feedback when we needed. And some of it was critical, some of it was very gentle feedback. And we've taken all of that and we're going to improve and get better. And this experience is only going to get better for you and for everybody involved. So I want to thank everybody.
Well said, G. Well said. Thank you, everyone. And
we just want to thank you guys for including us in all of this. And so we just really are appreciative and very grateful. So we're gonna jump off now and let you two wrap up your beautiful 2-day event. And thank you so much.
Thank you. It was
Thanks,
really
Mary
good.
and Heather.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
take care.
All right,
And then
Danielle.
there were two.
Yes, let's have a moment here.
Yeah.
You and me, we the way we met and the way we kind of came together and made this idea our idea, and how we evolved this. It's wonderful, and I want to thank you for being my co-founder, for my business partner, and being my partner in crime, and hanging with me. And I've thrown a lot at you, and it's been a pleasure, and I hope there's more of this for us, and you and me can turn this into an amazing journey.
Definitely.
For us
I'm
and
ready.
Everybody else. Yeah.
I'm ready. Yeah. No, I want to thank you too, G. I mean, from the time this was an idea to 6 months now, I mean, it's to be an actual event that we're putting on. It can only go up from here. So yeah, just want to say again, thank you. And thanks to our audience for sticking with us. You all are going to be hopefully just a part of the Funding Stack community, hoping to just bring the best to you. And please do give us your feedback. And like G said, it's only going up from here. We're going to take your feedback and give you what you're looking for. So thanks for hanging with us. Wow. Funding Stack Summit 2020.
All right, yo. Everybody have a great weekend.
Yeah. Peace.
CSC Leasing Company has been offering non-dilutive equipment financing for more than 35 years. CSC's financing is non-recourse and does not require warrants, covenants, or giving up any equity in your business. As an alternative source of funding, CSC has financed nearly $1 billion in transactions while providing quicker and simpler transactions than traditional sources of debt. CSC works across all markets, from pre-revenue startups to middle market to large enterprise, as well as a wide variety of industries, and prides itself on saying yes when others tell you no. By financing your equipment instead of paying one lump sum up front, you can spread out your payments and have a predictable, fixed monthly payment that costs less than traditional lenders. With CSC's non-dilutive equipment financing, you stay on the cutting edge by accelerating technology refreshes without costly obsolescence or the hassle of equipment disposal. Explore CSC's solutions at cscleasing.com.